Previously on calendars.
Ninja, come on, we're gonna do it again. We just jump up, kick back, whip around and spin. Ninja, come on, into the weekend. We're kick back, twirl it around and spin.
Ninjago Season 1. Okay, so the reason this calendar is super late. Now, the thing is about this calendar is, unfortunately, somebody I know has a copy of this, but, I wasn't able to get it before I left Montana, so I had to, check out a copy at the LA library. And so, yeah, if I wanted to do this calendar. So I put it on hold, but, I had to wait for the hold to come in. And when the hold finally did come in, you know what happened? Disc 2 was switched out with Season 2. So, that did not work at all. So Disc 2 was switched out with, the first 7 episodes of Season 2. And so I returned that, without getting all the pictures off of Disc 1. So I checked it out again. And then Disc 2 was switched out. Disc 1 was switched out with the first 7 episodes of Season 2. And, yeah. So, I was able to talk to the library and they were able to put Disc 1 and Disc 2 into the same case, so the other case just has the first 7 episodes of of Season 2 again. Or, that's all they have. So, the other copy was pretty bad. If I'm talking sort of weird, it's because it's Saturday, and I'm usually tired Saturday. But, and then I got lazy and tired and, busy, and I didn't want to bother the roommate other days, and got central casting work yesterday, and so, and then it turned out that my Microsoft Office 2013 expired because I was not the main copy. So, the thing was, that ended up meaning one thing, that I could only, view these calendars that I haven't opened yet for the pilot episodes. I can only look at it, and I knew that if I accidentally closed out this one, I will never be able to reopen it again in a file that I can edit. But I can currently edit it as long as I keep it open. But there's just way too many problems. It's unfortunate, but it's true. I can't even click there so I can get a line that I can zoom into. If I zoom in, I only end up zooming into the same spot every time. I can't choose. So, yeah, because it doesn't have it emphasized on anything. I can't select anything, so therefore I can't zoom into that object individually. Like if I want to go there. And so, it's very, very important. Okay, so the theme for Season 1. Yeah, it's confusing because Season 1 is like, Season 2. This is a pilot episode, so now I'm on Season 1, so, saying a sequel, it usually seems like you should be saying 2, but this is Season 1. Yes, you can obviously see from the start, there are way more pictures. But there are some differences between the two. Okay, one of the first things you may or may not notice is that now it's Lego February 2018. Okay, so, yeah. Even though by the time this is released, it'll probably be almost March. Great. Great way to advertise for Ninjago. And probably my channel. Because, nobody's gonna want to watch a February 2018 calendar in the middle of March. Okay, in the beginning of March. Or the very end of the month. But that's just so. The colors up here are very similar. I did this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. The plates are the same. But, you know, these ones are a little bit more rectangular. Yeah. I think this one's apparently a darker blue, I think. And right here and here, I decided to switch those out because, you know, since this calendar was red, I didn't really need to do Kai up there. You know, Kai's color didn't need to be up here. But since since the green ninja, which spoilers later on, are going to be here, then, you know, I decided, since this is going to be green instead, to emphasize the green ninja rather than the red ninja, which was Kai, I decided to change these so they could be red, and this still zoomed into the wrong spot, but not that bad. And so I decided to have this red hair instead of black than this one. Because, you know, to try to get more cool Kai in there, which meant sacrificing some cool. More Kai, less cool, but cool already had a lot. Cool actually has the most, other than the green ninja, who, if you're watching this, hopefully you watched it, so spoiler warning, Lloyd Garmadon! I should have said that later. Because I would have been super exciting when I said it, even though everybody already knows. Because hopefully you're not spoiling this to yourself. Text font was the same, similar thing. This is different because, you know, I've started using awesome Swords of Overture! No, not really. What I've been doing is I've been now adding these text things, and I don't think I moved that, but, you know, they're just text things to say what next month and last month themes are. Coco is last month, just so you know. So here's a green box, which is sort of similar to the last one, and I'm gonna undo that. And then here we have, you'll see here that I had a little bit of Lego stuffy in here. You know, just a little bit of Lego brick sort of things, which what I basically did was, to be honest, yeah, these little things here, to make it look like these are Lego bricks. The same thing was used here. I basically copied and pasted these ones, which I can't even highlight, so that's terrible. So I can't emphasize anything. But yeah, I copied and pasted those. Can't copy, I don't think, even. That's sad. I can look over here. I hope this was your favorite calendar ever. No, not really. So, yeah, I made this sort of... Okay, so let's look at here. So, apparently here, I had this nice thing with a little bit of fiery color, where it was yellow and then went on, orange, then went on to yellow and then to a white. And then on this edge, it went to red. Well, since that was sort of to emphasize the upper color, which was red, I decided I was going to do the same thing on the calendar too, instead of doing an entirely different color. So, what I did was, then the top. So this one was mostly green, and then it also goes to yellow and white, and then near the edges it gets a little darker. So, that's sort of the idea. Also this month had 6 different weeks in the month, and February only has 5, I guess, although there are 4 weeks, but I'm meaning different weeks. So there is there's more room for the boxes or whatever. So that's why they're bigger. But yeah, the colors were just, sort of the same style. Fill effects, if you want to look at them. Don't want them to look ugly, so don't want to do that plain color. yeah, so you see that there's different colors fading towards the center. And so, yeah. Let's see. Talked about that, so... Oh yeah, Ninjago Season 1. Okay, so I remember checking that out from the library for the first time, but, you know... actually, Season 1 was the first I had seen of Ninjago on TV. Yeah, so when we watched Ninjago the very first time, we were visiting our dad for the summer of 2012. Season 1, I guess, was sort of, you know, a newer thing out there. And so Season 1 was coming out at about that time. So yeah. And so we actually, the episodes that always seemed to be playing were always the one with Jay reaching his true potential, Cole reaching his new potential, and Kai reaching his true potential. And there are a few episodes, they sometimes did a marathon sort of thing on Cartoon Network. And so there were, so we always saw those episodes, but we never saw the beginning of the season. We never even got there in time to see Zane reaching his true potential. And so we started thinking that all the characters, or I did, I thought all the characters were robots just because Zane was a robot, and it never specifically said the others were, I think, and I spoiled it, but you know, you probably watched this, I hope, already. And so we only saw the episode where Jay reached his true potential and beyond. Never earlier than that, it seems like. And so, you know, we sort of guessed that Zane was a robot, though, I guess. Sort of. Well, we sort of knew. I don't know how it was. I mean, Zane was a robot, you know? Especially when he went up against the Great Devourer. But, you know, it was when we checked them out that we decided to watch them again. And that's when it got really, really good. And, you know, it's like one of the coolest TV shows. And to be honest, it's actually the show that it actually has bigger shocking moments than a lot of movies. Like almost up there with I Am Your Father moments, maybe? I don't know if they're quite that big. I don't remember hearing that scene much. But yeah. Okay, so here's a picture of their monastery was burned down, which was actually one of the things that made the show, like, you realized it was going to be good, because a lot of shows, they just try to have this reset method where, you know, it just resets to a default format or whatever, where nothing really big can happen, or else they can't reset it, except for maybe at the end of the seasons and stuff. Well, their home was destroyed, and that totally changed the whole thing, so it sort of changed a lot when their home was destroyed, and then they had to find a new home, which is, the Destiny's Bounty, I think. I should know that. And so they find a new home following Zane's bird. Here is Jay reaching his true potential and stopping Nia from going downhill, even though it looks like uphill in the shot. Probably because of angle. He has to stop her from going down, and dying. Like, you know, Jay's finally reached his true potential. How awesome. And here is this one place. Zane had followed the Falcon all the way home to this one mysterious place. And then he's about to see blueprints of himself. That's when he realizes he's a robot. That's like, if I didn't know beforehand, that would have been really shocking. And poor Zane, like, imagine if you found out you were a robot. And that's like one of the shocking things that, you know, most normal TV shows don't even seem to want to go, because that just changes everything about how you perceive him. But he's still my favorite character. And so, yeah, because he's such a good guy, he's like a hero. And so, yeah, and so he finds out he's a robot. And so that was one of the episodes I knew I had to get pictures from. Here is the Serpentine in front of a large crowd in the subway station. They're discussing their plan of action, and they want to, you know, they want to form and reunite all the Serpentine clans. Here's Pythor and here's Scales. They're the Pythor becomes the leader of all the Serpentine. And yeah. And here is the first day when they find Lloyd Garmadon, and Lloyd Garmadon had just decided to become a bad guy and follow in his father's footsteps. You know, Lord Garmadon to Lloyd Garmadon. And so he decided to he decided to unleash the Serpentine, which I wish had been really long ago that they were in prison, but it was only 40 years ago. Season 7 spoiler. But he released the Serpentine, and then unfortunately the village was hypnotized, because he unleashed the Hypno Bride, and he had the leader under his control. And so, you know, there was poor Lloyd, and then Kai's using the anti-venom inside the staff. And how did the Serpentine end up with the anti-venom back? I mean, the staff back. And then here is Zane reaching his true potential. He's realized he's a robot. He's the first one to reach his true potential. And he's freezing this one, something, I think. He's freezing the creature so he can save his friends, and he's reached his true potential. Just like Zane always does. You know, that's an emotional episode. Highly recommended. Here is them heading down to Ninjago City. Which is a city that they had never been to before, but they would go to many more times afterwards. Just to be honest. And they're so excited to see the city. And so, you know, they get to see the city, and they're parachuting down in a way, but they're going to use their weapons as parachutes rather than parachutes. And yeah, they're not afraid of heights, obviously. And then here is Pythor after he's unleashed the Great Devourer, who's gonna eat devour all of Ninjago. If he devours all of Ninjago, won't that mean he'll devour you too? That's sort of a question that's asked. So here's Pythor, and he realizes the Great Devourer is terrifying. And the Great Devourer is what turns, Lord Garmadon evil anyway. And then here we have it. The home being destroyed, like I mentioned earlier. But here's actually the ashes of their beautiful monastery home. It's sort of sad to lose your home and all your video game high scores. That's just dramatic. I don't want to lose my video game high scores. But you know, Cool's not in here because he's letting the dragons out, which last season he was afraid of dragons. Or the pilot episode. That should have been a whole season in its own. They could have really went somewhere with it. But, you know, instead of they could have made it seem like a whole season and whole story. And then we would have known the skeleton army better, or as well as the Serpentine, which we know pretty well. But we don't know the skeletons that well. And then here is Pythor, an over-the-shoulder shot, looking out at his opponents, which Zane is in pink because Lloyd decided to wash all the laundry together. Decided to wash Zane's white ninja outfit with Kai's red one. So that just ended up pink looking. And then here we have just a poster for Ninjago Season 1. Here is the green ninja who nobody knows who it is from the beginning of the season, and then later we find out. And then here we have an amazing thing. We have Cool. He reaches his true potential and saves his father in a concert. Poor Kai is the only one who doesn't reach his true potential. I mean, what must that be like, being the only one going like, everybody's been all cool and everything and I haven't, you know? Everybody's doing all this cool stuff and I'm just normal. And, you know, that would just be very, very sad. I mean, it's only one episode later, but still. And then here is him rounding the Slither Pit sort of thing game. And they're gonna attack the armies. And Jay has already started his Spinjitzu, which he actually was the first to learn, if you remember from season pilot. And then here is the dragon, going after the Great Devourer in Ninjago City. Yeah, and so, the dragon versus Great Devourer. Great Devourer is going to be a hard one to stop. So here is Kai finding out Nia is Samurai X. In the desert. He's the only one who knows her true identity as Samurai X. So yeah, his sister Samurai X, obviously. Samurai everybody hates. And then here is, earlier on, when Lloyd Garmadon was creating the treehouse was falling apart, and so, they have to all run and jump onto the dragon. I forgot where Cole is, but he's not here. He might actually be on the dragon, but they have to jump over onto the dragon. Well, Sensei plays his flute, to turn away the snakes. And then here we have, the dramatic scene when Kai finally reaches his true potential to save Lloyd. Not destroy Garmadon, but to save Lloyd. Why didn't it his destiny to defeat Garmadon? Because Lloyd's the Green Ninja. And so he has to save the Green Ninja. And here's the weapons. The golden weapons saying that Lloyd is a Green Ninja. And so yeah, it's an interesting show. It's pretty dramatic at times. And let's talk about what's happening this month. Oh, where was that from? Oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah, that's sort of a central casting quote. Let's talk about where we're going. They say that sometimes. But last month's theme was Coco! Yep, and so that's over. Hopefully you enjoy that as last month's theme. Here we have, like last calendar with April, just a bit of dates that are in Japanese text. Igatsu, or is it Ichigatsu? I think it's Igatsu. I don't remember, the first month. But then, Sanju Nichi. Okay, so here we have the dates. Yeah, and why is that a different color? This is wrong. That's a different color. Oh, man. And then, so here it is on the 2nd of February. It's Groundhog Day. Again and again. And maybe I should have added again and again. You know, because that's the day you always wake up and it's Groundhog Day. Unfortunately. So, you know, you've had to go through that day so many years before you even got to this calendar, I guess. Because this calendar is late. But don't worry, it's over until next year. And then finally, school starts back up again for me on the 5th of the month. Now that already happened, and so let's talk about what I'm taking. So right now, I'm taking, Japanese 4. I'm on my 4th Japanese class. So this is my 4th semester, but it's only the 2nd year. And so, yeah, I'm hopefully learning enough. So it's sort of challenging at times. But yeah. So hopefully it works out pretty well though. But you know how it is. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Okay, whatever. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then I'm taking a grip class, which is for cinema. You know, it's where you set up stuff like C-stands and, lights. That's the electric part of the class that comes later. And psychology, another, conversational Japanese. I'm taking psychology 2, biological psychology. And I'm taking screenwriting. Yeah! Which I gotta work on today, hopefully. So yeah, that's my classes. And then here we go. On the 8th, the 2018 Winter Olympics began. Are they still going? I don't know. I saw this at the mall, Glendale Mall, and decided that I was gonna put it on my calendar. And then here we have Peter Rabbit in theater. I'm gonna wait for this one to come to DVD, but, you know, if you like Peter Rabbit, that's your opinion. I watch a lot of stuff on DVD, and I have no idea how good it is or anything. And then here is Lincoln's birthday. Uh-oh, I forgot to cover up the birthday. Oh, wait, it's Abraham Lincoln. Does he mind everybody knowing his birthday? I don't think he has to worry about identity theft. Does Abraham Lincoln have to worry about identity theft? Let's try it out. I'm gonna go up to the store and say, "Hi, I'm Abraham Lincoln." I don't think he'd have to worry. Wonder was on DVD the day after that. On the 13th. That's a movie about a kid with a deformed face. Yeah. And then here is Valentine's Day and Ash Ketchum Wednesday. So not much happened that day for Argy. That's my nickname. So yeah. Valentine's Day. And Ash Wednesday. So that's when people start fasting, some people. And Lent begins, I guess. Oh, and here was Chinese New Year, which I didn't even remember until the day after. And Black Panther and Early Man in theater. I actually saw Black Panther. I sort of hoped it would be a fantasy, but it wasn't. Can't really blame it. That's just like getting mad at Hidden Figures for not being a superhero movie. That would be like really ridiculous. But, you know, it was good as it was, other than not being a fantasy so much. There was a little bit of fantasy elements, I guess. And then here is somebody's birthday. And on that day, I released a video. This is not Abraham Lincoln's birthday, or, yeah. So that's why it doesn't say. And then Lego Saving Account on YouTube. We actually released this video onto YouTube that day, you know. I did. My brother was in Montana. But, you know, this was so awesome to watch, I guess. Which is on YouTube. It might be awesome to watch. It's under 3 minutes, so yeah. Oh boy, somebody else's birthday. And it's President's Day. So, on President's Day, yep, celebrate your presidents. I don't know what president you like, but celebrate them anyway, and that's already over, so it doesn't even matter. Oh, the star's on DVD. Just in time for Christmas! That's already, but I don't even know if I feel like watching it yet. Like, you know, why do you release a Christmas movie onto DVD in the middle? I mean, yes, it's Sony Pictures Animation, and they probably, you know, want to release it onto DVD along in the same amount of time, a reasonable amount of time that their other movies do, but this is a Christmas movie. Release it around Christmas onto DVD. And then again, that would mean Coco wouldn't even be onto DVD until next November to be on DVD for the Day of the Dead. And then Washington's birthday. Let's try this scenario again. I'm gonna B-Day. I put B-Day. Sounds very formal. But I'm gonna go up to the store and say like, I'm George Washington. Yeah, because my birthday's on February 22nd. I don't think he has to worry about identity theft either, to be honest. Yeah, so it's okay to put his birthday, I hope. So yeah. And then on Tuesday, Coco is on DVD. Too early. Yes, I say that I don't want to wait till November for this to come to DVD, but it's actually the Day of the Dead, which it even came to theaters after the Day of the Dead. Or Dia de los Muertos or something. But, you know, it's still too early. I would have preferred March or April. And not early March. But I'm gonna end up buying it Tuesday, and I'm gonna be super excited. And then also Murder on the Orient Express, but that's not like Coco. And Murder on the Orient Express came to theaters, actually. Earlier. And so Murder on the Orient Express got to stay in theaters a little longer, at least in America. In Mexico, Coco did come to theaters in the end of October or something. So... And then here is one last person's birthday. And then here is Sangatsu. And then here, yeah, here's the next month, so, in Japanese. And so now, I might as well reveal next month's theme. Next month's theme is going to be, BAM! Paranorman, because, you know, it was in high demand from somebody. Yeah, I didn't feel comfortable enough to do Harry Potter, which was the only one that, the other one that they would be satisfied by. That really worked. So, yeah. And yeah, I don't know if, that is to say, don't know if Paranorman's much better, but, you know. Yeah. It hasn't had much of a bad, it hasn't been famous enough to get such a bad reputation, so I feel a little less self-conscious, but, you know. That was my February 2018 calendar. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah. February 2018.